The 2010 Sharm El Sheikh shark attacks were a series of attacks by sharks on swimmers of the Red Sea resort of Sharm El Sheikh, Egypt. On December 1, 2010, 3 Russians and 1 Ukrainian were seriously injured within minutes of each other. And on December 5, 2010, a German woman was killed when she was attacked while wading and snorkeling in the shallows close to the shoreline. The attacks were described as unprecedented by shark experts. In response to the attacks, beaches in the popular tourist resort were closed for over a week. Dozens of suspected aggressive sharks were caught and killed, and the local government issued new rules regarding the banning of shark feeding and restrictions on swimming. A variety of theories were put forward to explain the attacks, including overfishing in the Red Sea, causing increased hunger and aggression in the sharks, as well as the illegal, intentional or inadvertent feeding of fish close to shore, which produces scents that attract sharks. Another theory considers the dumping of sheep carcasses in the Red Sea by a livestock transport during the Islamic festival of the Eid al-Adha that may have attracted the sharks closer to shore. Attacks. The first attacks occurred on 1 December, when 4 people were attacked within minutes of each other in the Ais Nasrani area. 48-year-old Olga Martsenko suffered wounds to her hands and legs, lower back and buttock, while 70-year-old Lyudmila Stolyarova lost her right hand and left leg. Both had to have their injured limbs partly amputated. A 54-year-old Russian man named Yevgeny Trishkin suffered serious leg wounds, requiring a partial amputation, while 46-year-old Ukrainian Viktor Koly also suffered leg injuries, but was well enough to leave hospital the following day. Lyudmila Stolyarova's husband Vladimir said, "I ran up to her and could hear her gasping, 'Shark! Shark! Shark!' She somehow managed to push the shark away from her. The shark bit of her arm, but she managed to swim closer to the shore. Before she got out of the water, the shark attacked again and bit off her foot." Other witnesses described the attack on Olga Martynenko. The woman managed to swim to the pier, but when people on the pier started pulling her out of the water, the shark bit off the woman's left buttock, one said. She lost a lot of blood. There were tourists on the pier, and they helped to pull the woman out. Some of them were slapping the shark off with rubber fins. There were no rescuers on the pier during the moment when it all happened. A rescuer was running up to us from afar. There were neither cords nor stretchers at hand. We used a swimsuit to block the blood flow from the gaping wound and grabbed a sunbed to carry the woman to the shore. The attacks on the 2 men were witnessed from the shore. A barman witnessed one of the victims running from the sea with blood streaming from gashes in his leg. The other male victim had to be rescued by members of a local diving center. According to the barman, the sea went red. His foot was gone. In response, officials closed the beaches and suspended all diving and water sports activities. Specialists from the Egyptian Environment Ministry were called in to investigate the incidents and caught a 2.25 meters 4 feet long oceanic white-tip shark weighing 150 kilograms 330 pound. That was claimed to be the one responsible for the attacks. The shark was identified by a local diver who claimed to have recognized the fish by its damaged fin. A Mako shark that was 2.5 meters 8 to 2 feet long and weighed 250 kilograms 550 pound was also caught. However, divers and conservationists said the captured sharks were not the same as the one that had been seen and photographed in the area shortly before the attacks. The attacks had a drastic effect on the local tourist industry. Mohamed Rashad, a bartender at the Air Bar Beach restaurant who was working at the time of the attack, said, "All the people ran away back to the hotel. No one wanted to stay on the beach. Now it's very quiet. People are scared to come to the beach. They are just coming to the bar to have a drink. They don't even want to stay on the sunbeds." The Egyptian authorities reopened the beaches on 4 December following the capture of the sharks. The following day, 5 December, 71-year-old German tourist Renate Seafoot, who had visited the resort for 11 years, was killed by a Mako shark while swimming in Nama Bay near the Hyatt Hotel. Jochen van Lijsbettens of the Red Sea Diving College saw the attack and told Sky News, "Suddenly there was a scream of help and a lot of violence in the water. The lifeguard got her on the reef and he noticed she was severely wounded." According to local officials, her arm was severed in the attack and she died within minutes. Following the attacks, water sports activities were again suspended. though it was expected that scuba diving, which is considered to be at far less risk from shark attacks, would soon be allowed to resume. The Egyptian authorities engaged international shark experts to assess the situation and propose a solution. The Egyptian Ministry of Tourism also announced the injured tourists would each be offered $50,000 in compensation, paid for by the local tourist industry. The attacks were widely described as unprecedented, both in media reports and by Samuel H. Gruber, a marine biologist who studied sharks at the Bimini Biological Field Station in Miami, Florida. Possible causes. Sharks are commonly seen near Sharm El Sheikh, but attacks on humans are very rare, particularly by the two species implicated in the 2010 attacks. Only 9 attacks by oceanic whitetips had been reported worldwide in the last 130 years, and only 1 had been previously fatal. However, oceanographic researcher Jacques Cousteau described the oceanic whitetip as the most dangerous of all sharks, despite the greater notoriety of other sharks habitually found nearer the shore. The oceanic whitetip is believed to be responsible for many casualties as a result of predation on survivors of shipwrecks. Such incidents are not included in common shark attack indices for the 20th and 21st centuries. And as a result of this, the oceanic whitetip does not have the highest number of recorded incidents. Only 5 recorded attacks as of 2009. The chairman of the Shark Trust, a British charity dedicated to shark conservation, commented, "It is probable that the tragic attacks were triggered by a specific activity or event. Attacks on humans by sharks are extremely rare, and this species would normally not be found close to shore on bathing beaches." Citation needed. Mohammed Salam of the South Sinai Conservation Organization, a government body responsible for environmental protection in the area, said that usually these kinds of sharks don't attack human beings, but sometimes they have trouble with their nervous system and they accidentally go after people. The chairman of the Sharm El Sheikh Chamber of Diving and Water Sports CDWS suggested that attacks might have been due to overfishing, which is an ongoing problem in the area. In a statement, Hesham Garber said, "It is clear from our initial discussions with shark behavioral experts that this highly unusual spate of attacks by an oceanic whitetip shark was triggered by an activity, most probably illegal fishing or feeding in the area." Other hypotheses for the shark attacks include that cattle ships transporting sheep for slaughter during the Islamic festival of Eid al-Adha on 16 November dumped sheep carcasses into the Red Sea, bringing sharks unusually close to the shoreline. Unscrupulous diving companies were also blamed for feeding sharks to attract them for their clients. On December 9, 2010, an international team of experts announced that it had found that 2 species, makos and oceanic whitetip shad, had been involved in the attacks. It listed possible contributory factors as including 1 or more incidents of illegal dumping of animal carcasses in nearby waters, depletion of natural prey in the area caused by overfishing, localized feeding of reef fish and or sharks by swimmers, snorkelers and some divers, and unusually high water temperatures in Sharm El Sheikh. Conspiracy theory about Israeli involvement. The attacks also sparked conspiracy theories about possible Israeli involvement. Egyptian television broadcast claims from South Sinai Governor Mohammed Abdel Fattah al-Shusha that Israeli divers captured a shark with a GPS unit planted on its back, allegedly by Mossad. Describing the theory as sad, Professor Mahmoud Hanafi of the Suez Canal University pointed out that GPS devices are used by marine biologists to track sharks, not to remote control them. Governor Mohammed Abdel Fattah al-Shusha himself ultimately said he thought the dumping of sheep carcasses during the Islamic festival of Eid al-Adha on 16 November was the most likely explanation.